because when I draw my bow back and an arrow's on its way, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be perfect, or, you know, I'm writing a check and I don't have an animal because I wounded a bull. Last thing I ever want to do. So I say all that just to say this, that pressure is pressure. You feel it differently. There's different reasons why you're feeling, or different reasons. We're kind of going down from my right to my left. So I was going to cheat to their right when pushing up, and then kind of come in on the back side of the herd, which is hard sometimes. It's not, a lot of times that's not the greatest strategy, because elk move so much faster than what you think the pace you're gonna be moving. You think you're gonna keep up, and you can't. They're just, even though they're just feeding and milling around, it just seems like they're just moving, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to live with myself. I'm now I was within 20 yards of this bull, but I had no shot because he was kind of facing me, and the tree was between he and I, and he was raking on it, so there's no shot there. And I'm like, if I get within 20 yards of this bull and don't get him killed, I don't deserve to kill a bull on this hunt. I got to be able to take advantage of this hunt, but you can't just make something happen. Parker there scored him at 379, which was a giant bull. He's I don't think I have him here yet, but he was like a 6x7 with double points on both sides. I'm pretty sure, just a giant, beautiful, heavy bull, old bull, lots of great meat, and incredible animal, biggest bull I've ever killed, and it's just unreal how it happened. Did I deserve to kill a bull like that on the first day of elk hunting? Hard to say. There's a lot of people who might deserve something and it doesn't work out, so sometimes you take them when you can get them. I don't know if I deserved it, but I got it, and I'm very thankful. Incredible hunt. The film wasn't the great sacrifices to be there, but I just wanted to add that before we get it too far down the road on that. I felt like that was missing. There's a key part missing to that story, so we're going to add this into the podcast. As we all know, I've been putting all my guests through a pretty good cardio session on Mount Pisgah. Go Rug is a welcome new addition to the podcast and Lift Run Shoot series. I love the 80-pound sandbags, but I'm not sure how my guests feel about it. But what do they say? Pain is weakness leaving the body. All the people at Go Ruck are beasts, and I'm thrilled to partner with them. We use the rocks and sandbags on almost every episode, and now you can take your training to the next level, as they are offering listeners 10% off when you use code CAM, C-A-M, at GoRuck.com. See you guys on the mountain. You better not forget that video. Pro Shops is a sponsor of the podcast, and that's especially powerful for me because I remember when Cabela's came to and I did a stock on this, like a 190 4x4 that I would have really loved to kill. This beautiful deer, and just couldn't. Tried a couple times, just could not. It's bow hunting. Just could not make it happen, and stumbled across this old buck, 4x3 or 4x4. Do you remember? I think it's a 4x4. I haven't got those animals back yet. The animals are moving. Unlike target archery, where targets aren't moving, you have all the time in the world. This is a different scenario. This is not something I don't think anyone can master, but I know for a fact I can't master it. So I want to get close. I want to get close, have relaxed shots. I want to offer these animals a merciful death, as I've said before. And to do that, I feel like I need. But I always joke around. They stick me out in the gar hole, which is fine, but they don't. But I like to joke around. Then I was with Ed Kinsey too. He and I have killed, I think, about 7 bulls together. I just want to be able to hunt. I want people who will just let me hunt. There's no pressure on any. I pay for all my hunts. People might say, "Oh, your sponsors pay." My sponsors don't pay for shit. They'll pay for, they pay for this show or whatever, but I write the checks for all my hunts. So I'm not, and I don't want free hunts, because I could probably get Jason over there, and they had the spotty scopes on some of those bucks there and where they went. And so I just said, hey, here, guys, given the wind, given how lay of the land is here. Here's my plan. But that's what I try to do. On this Utah hunt, I look back after we run down 2 miles, or I mean a mile down the hill. Everybody's there. I started going up, this bull's bugling. And I hadn't seen him, but they're going up the hill. So again, anyway, I hold that 20-yard pin up. He is looking over me. Right when he looks down, I release. You see on the video, he looks right down at me and the arrow goes full penetration all the way up to the fledge. And he ended up going 38 yards and dies in about 10 seconds. Quiet morning, he could hear. And he looked one time, we had to stop. You know, of course, I think everybody else is making all the noise and screwing up all the time. It's probably me, but I'm mad at them. And something I remember him being on his hands and knees, looking pathetic. And going down 28-3, you can't dwell on that, right? So you got to forget that, come back, and you got to make plays. So I'm like, I got to put this out of my head. Oregon, I suck in Oregon. I blew it. You know, had it on the Kip. He's like one of a kind, one of my best friends. Just East Coast guy. I don't want to say loud, but outspoken and confident and cocky, and then also self-depreciating somehow. Just like the best mix of guy you could ever want to be around. And he would do in-country years or where I'm hunting. Africa was the same way. Australia was the same way. It's like, how do we get remote? How do we get to where nobody else wants to go? That's always the goal, no matter where I'm hunting. So here, I always thought the glory hole was that place. And I've just been drawn. God, I don't know, it didn't take super long to get down there. If you're focused on just diving off the edge, maybe 20 minutes to get down. Got down to the bottom, and it still is up the drop from where the bull's bugling, but got down the bottom, and I started, there's a trail along the, cheated to the right of the brush from where I stopped him with that. I made another arrow like that. And I think I just hit slightly to the right, and maybe he was quivering a little bit to me, I don't know, but it went in perfect, and I think it came out a little back. So I got this near side lung, and it's like, they can go, right? So I'm like, if I rattle one off the brush or fuck up this shot, and it's getting dark right now, who knows? Who knows what the hell's gonna happen? So I was like, I felt more pressure on that shot than the first shot. So I'm like, I can't screw this up. You know, 72 yards, it's not a chip shot. I could definitely screw this up a 72-yard shot. So I'm like, focus. I know Tanner, he would never say he's tired, but maybe he was too. And it's all good though, because I'm back to Oregon. This is the last elk hunt of the year. And I had like, I think 3 or maybe 4 days. I think 4 days to finish it off. And the dream team didn't matter for me. It was like superficial. Then I was focused on, you know, this big bull, right? And it just wasn't meant to be, whatever. Just tried, could not get this bull to cooperate. So while we were working on this bull, Kevin spotted some elk way up on the hill, this upper unit, like